na say and someone else wa Ghana hanum abi obi wa na asem ya to say adai me nya Ghana ni bie wa na no yen kwadan sori a Ghana mampani John Dramani Mahama say ebraso say Ghana for enso etimi oni mining company a eye kese na Ghana japade Nyankopon de dom ye asase mo ogudie say eye gold say eye bauxite eye lithium eye diamond no Ghana for people enso so etimi aye hodma atu enya so mfaso na no si ya na Ghana for bu say ene ntina chema wontumi bu say onye Ghana ni bie wa na enei nipa wo mu ya mining properly legally awo kwan paso aye tata wo mu na no ye say takwada amai wo mu elise wu omulanse wu na ye say ko bisa ho asema na ya kwese sa adwuma koya engineers and planners e e pese eje ede momum afi ye kwada sori a Azuma resources enso so ede ye say black voter gold bia apio worth 52 trillion Ghana cedis and also so yakoye contractual agreement the cameras see as one sign ewie periphobia kobi afei Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Owura Kofi Amabua Ebaya was say jitum say ntawantawa eda ENP ene Azuma and Resources for the entem wo mu NCC $100 million and ECOWAS Bank ese odema ENP na omo ede akwakowra sa mining project ni mu na wonsam so no this black voter gold belt no and also wonsam apagya ni mu bebrebe minim sa make kan obusam sa na dai ablekuma no fo wonsam de omuni ho nkomo ana me ba cho eno so eka hom enra honorable hawo kumsen ye punu sasa de sebe oye arm robber ana se watwituo esi obi so okuno na ede abufu aba deputy national organizer Chris Lloyd onu so say na abufu a ede aba party fo mu no already on Facebook, WhatsApp platforms they are asking one single question say the who no asking off any the who no election 2024 no what was the approach, the strategic plan and your party leadership edira Ablekumanov num na Ablekumanov mponye na akwetia na ebinim so ese okay neck take decision say election no maye nko ye huru de koye ma amene say obeko now names be pop up say omu na encouraging say onko Okasa Obekono party phone bi had no choice. Say umbe abandon but to go and support her. Umuko ekoye umafamu die. Ena de akwako si and run seat no ye lusu by 164 votes. Eno edie eno no. Ebinim say a precursor. Ya de obuse enkana say de pe huro ya mpredwa ye. De ebesi wa kwetia no ena yehu ho nyama kakra ewo Ablekumanov 19 polling station in the full glare of heavily built men in the full glare of police for numbering to the police station we have to police for more than 100 womukratio umushisho makuturu mento muntade na bulletproof ni omuche no enso nyina chino de besie esi. Okay, Nana, my chain.
Yeah, Ohanaba at the same. Document my man home family.
You can the holiday. Say,
I see.
July 1st now.
Oh, okay.
You push about Friday, not Friday night holiday.
Oh, then.
And it's Saturday, no, and to us.
Much amount
of PMSC.
Much Mr. Uza, Nakekri promoter. And Fabiana also MPP Nipa Lagatini. She's been very helpful to the MPP. Okay. Masanachia Fakasi Krunte Hene and then Abasi Chidom Hene. My music occasion Cham and Mammy and Sandy, they are all reading law. Shella Obiri Boahen, Anthony Obiri Boahen, and Augustine Obiri Boahen.
Shella Obiri Boahen.
Yeah, I know
Anthony Obiri Boahen
then Augustine Obiri
na Augustine Obiri Boahen mo nyina ayo ma
Mema
utedi anoba watopa so mfaso no
and they are all reading law
na emu ba ku bia be ka atopa no do obu ya
let's not go there
o ma me fafu
let's not go there
o guy
I'm saying yes
tomorrow do say
yeah please not the problem no
but the issue is we a lawyer minim say onua ba ko lawyer wa be judge panyi pa okrum hanom o ma miensa enso e wo law school
ono so ne matu or law school
unia judge panyi no ono so matu e wo law school
so as you sit here no 3 ono so 2 5
mumye no beka ho 7
no what for so yes a lawyer
what for so ba ko so a lawyer
what for so Felix Obiri Boahen
wow
so hopefully we believe that maybe by the next 2-3 years can on you be 10 at least
belonging to the Obiri Boahen family,
one mother one father.
Why the law profession? What entices the family?
Maybe can call you know I'm sure
okay
maybe can call
na odi kan rem o ko ja unia na oye judge sesi
some na me panyin
oh really
ati o ma wa buruche nyina me nam de wo mkoe bien ho me nua bien ho anya me nam hwe no
really una ye pani
bien ho anya me nam hwe no ati ama opo umpo
de waya watum de ahwe omunti no omususu fi say ho no mo fa
efie ho no so awo no kra no you have the edge to read it you know what I say
10 nipa 10
me say bedru Jeff so Obiri Boahen
another one so ho
Jeff no wa ye no LLB no kra wi o ye no BL wasna ko yaba
it's interesting
is here ko India
wow
so he's not reading PhD or they say oni the flair
say obe practice
yes so he looks more than ultimate sample timinye no bet much demo be 3 days
tompi ofia de nko
onom nsa onom jot onkopema
reading nko
just demo nko in terms of technology the oboa he's not reading his PhD in a university in Estonia.
Wow.
And we are going on.
O ma me say ye law.
They so now.
And we odi wachi so ma mienu.
Go university ah. They say we dey nyansa obeye ndwasem. Enya ndwasem.
Wow.
And the edge is there for us to.
Oh, I'm so happy.
We so. This is a formidable family. Very strong. Apparently, as a Dan Beko Yankopon ho.
Sure.
Uncle Bia say Yankopon ho. Me a medican no. Once I know been a man kwamba for bronya so no offers here. On so all year long. Almost where we. So that is how it goes. No, ubenya idea no wo na de. And a lot of them will be doing. So let's not drop the thing and continue.
I am happy that we will have another Obiri Boahen.
Yes, very quiet. You know the judge, you know. Who's the judge is a court of appeal? Our high court or handle me mother case be. Because I never knew. Or the case required after a year. And then who just say unia. I don't know. So we are producing a lot.
I see.
So well
the
asante hina semno.
Owo bana osuana because ya nkuhye no bia nkase asuma simba pa na ayesi na at least it me bonding e de bata odin ma no ye munyam sha
you guys say omo school no your UPSA and then omo central no ombo di no Obiri Boahen pe our papa no Obiri Boahen ane
so no wonder
then I have another one say Obed me what fast here so you know BL that's when I'm sure now from class 1 Obed that's when I'm sure now from class 1.
Sure.
So very soon Obed will also become Obed.
Wow.
Very soon Obed will be coming out as a lawyer. So it's a matter of time. Nyankopo no boana bi asabi kafracho me nyabese mfie mienu pe aka me mfie ho kra mpa.
Obenya mother.
O so me dey make asema. Obo say Because hey, what has happened to this family? We are determined. You better break Chikata record. Oh yeah, you break the Chikata's record. We will break the free Chikata record. We will break it.
Wow.
And we are going to break that record.
Good.
Yanko na domasi asam.
Domasi.
Nti wa utie me no. Domasi na me free.
Oh, on I free.
Yeah, on I'm free.
Oh, okay.
Nti wa utie me no mentie no nhwe say me support one side
and I said the other side.
The other side. I'm using domasi there no as addition there emma wiase obi a otie me na no pa bia hu bibi about chieftaincy. Nti no na ne ewum no ordinarily kamen shada say meka ho asem. Binum kura ka say on shada me meka because I'll use it. Me de be ye na aye ade a ye nyina no ye de be ye adusuade. The assemble ne bae. The family binum or domase no mo saman their queen mother Boahen our original house. Na egusu no na queen mother no odi ase no ba otumfo asante he no Manshia Palace. Yes, why? Because domase no matena fidie we so aka bebre o kan wi ana no be di watem no. I don't simply understand why eso bi di me atem. I just simply don't understand. Some Batranam Casa Domase number 2, or me asantefua. Or what do you have to insult me? Doesn't make any sense. Sebika fracture. Bad basem, bad Domase number 2 for a bed basem. Ne grandmother Nabessa my woman shia. Ba or the Baba Manshia, so Baba Piso. They have agreed to contest. Until the man I made the Baba Manshia wana. And then one thing about Munkro Bomus say, Bohu say, Domase number 2 akunyano. Say, Otum Fokai, say, a reapanina dida. Na reapanina so as an abedi bantama kunya. A reapanina bedi bantama kunyano, no ma bosonche. Eko di Domase number 2 akunyano, o man no fasie. So the Domase number 2 akunyano, within the Bono region. I friend a real penny too. I bet my friend was on Christu. They are members of the Santamine Council. You understand? So when they are members of the Santamine Council, now me as a crutch in my pan, my better Hannah Mekan. Why do you go on social media and then be insulting me? Doesn't make sense. Now, Baba Saman Benson, Bajiatu. Baba Saman Yanampa Benim say. They are members of the Santamine Council. Baba Samaman even Bia Bonun Crafra na dance for. Ama Otumfu Abuya. But these are the lessons I'm Casaya Disha. One. By the decision of Otumfu, I say from November 1901, Abache Quabrancherano. The next person obedia Kunyani Yakwamkwan. And was come naturally. And therefore, decision as I tell you, the from 1902 to 1903, Babesi, Nano Yawadano, do the calculation. Masa Ana Bedia Kunyana from 1901 or 1902 to 2025, Nano Yawodaino. If you do the calculation, for more than 100 years, mana bedia kunyano sa and therefore Otumfo hwehwemu no wa block no so free na no tinton. That is one adisuade a ese yesiawum adisuade ense among the accounts no yeah opportunity timba mamma bi bedia kunyano bi but opportunity timba bedi mamma no bedia kunyano bi a point in time no the royal family no be pa kunyano enisa bebre. And that decision by the Otumfo no, just a replica of the Brekum. And now a me the Supreme Court. No. Brekum no appointed I think from the 4th Brekum chief. Edimahasa Ebesi Dr. Leonor Owuyeno. So among the accounts, it means that, well, 18 something, 17 something, 16 something, 14 something, 19 something. Etimba sa matiminya kwa india kwenyani bi. But then a point in time, no, royal family na huna bana ya, it should go in their favor. And being a domestic number 2 asem no tun fo bi ya. E bi so ne brekum asem ne ko Supreme Court no. Because in the brekum case ne ko Supreme Court na akua me ya no. Versus na ofori apia no case na akua me ya and others. Versus na ofori apia and others. The Supreme Court of Ghana speaking through apologies ka say do for check dan show da otimu na de nchem. So that once it's ma amodi akonya no eyema we da muntimi ma members of the royal family. So adisuade me pese ye nyina sua no, like I said, mentimi nka say be freedom asintino because adisuade bi wom, and I just want to use this opportunity say the be ya we are sene obia no ebetie no besua, and me obi ametaye in part 2. Now, by that decision by Otumfo na Santemano, now akonya na ko the benyansi, but definitely it means that na kwamna kire no a be che no a be kunu no. That was in 1901. Kwamna Kire was killed on 24th November 1901. 1901, 24th November. Kwamna Kire kra no baba be di edise bantama kunya. Na Yasantoa War, no, he was a general in the Yasantoa War. And therefore, from 1901 up to 2025, Nano Yawode, almost 120 something years. No? Nano Yawode, no, to for restore Adiano back to the Kwamnachire family. And that is possible in law, in history, and in tradition. Possible. Because applying the Supreme Court case in Nana Akuyameya and others versus Oforapia and others, no, that was the decision Supreme Court no kind. Now, many workers say Nano ya wode no obiano. Nehima bi wo ho. And that himano or a gazetted queen mother.
Okay.
So in law, what is the effect? Now Otumfo Agoka say, oh, him akurano wono onye dehye what did I make it no eti by that decision it means that the queen mother no enye full-blooded royal and therefore so onye full-blooded royal there na just na konya no abawiye yeah now bibe bisa say na say ba gazette no say ya gazette no once again the law in chieftaincy, the law on history and tradition says the fact that say ya gazette no entimi ma wo say wonye royal na so fa kwa bi su kodia konya na gazette kura e ma wo meye royal once a non-royal always a non-royal at that position of the law no ubenya no mampong so case bi ko do Supreme Court mampong no wo mo hene bi ne ye friend gati ono na wo mutu no a ne ewu na no ada be di akonyan ohene ba so tie mi yeah obedi mampong akonyan no for almost 8 or 9 years he got gazetted but the Supreme Court said that look onye royal and the law is that once you are not a royal no even if you are gazetted krampa amawo meye royal so that applied the Supreme Court in the Mampong case, you know, apply it to a domestic case, you know. It means that Queen Mother na ya gazette no kurano within the gazette no because she's not a royal. She ceases to be a royal and she cannot be a royal and therefore to mean yakunyano. So that is another aspect of the law. So I want to be a OT who say me the domestic na be case study no amaye no so we are hene na say ya gazette wa bebre no beti argument say hey lawyer ba gazette no ya gazette no in law it is a presumption anya conclusive rebuttable anya conclusive rebuttable and the fact that ya gazette no once you are not a royal, once what me afa kwa bi so akodi akonya no once Betima Gazette no in law it doesn't make it conclusive say we are royal eti yasemisamu mo amutaji tun se de berba Gazette no ayampa Gazette no man na ye se wabeye se ya Gazette ntino wababa be royal. But let me take another ibi man denchira. Oja denchira stew no your friend bankama stew. For one reason or the other, me de kasemo mesra meka. So bi benya bia denchira akonya no anza denchira akonya no se omunya nsie. Se bia obi benya denchira akonya na di. Na ko ba se nipa no onye royal. You can still challenge the person even though timnya Gazette kura mpa.
But
exactly, because the decision was made in the Mampong case, you know, and it is true in law. So that in Denchira, it is only the royals of the Bankamas too. It is only the royals of the Bankamas too. Or the person may tell you, say, me a Denchira agonani in law, in history and tradition. Yentemu henyina no sabia nyam from sobina meya uti sabida me agunani pe onya ka aguna pe no de wani ko Denchira because aguna kura na wa sante ahase sei okonfa no che aguna no if you delve into omo history no omo ye Denchira fo so wherever I can't have a bibia so Western regional, Eastern regional, Volta Ashanti regional, Bono is not when me agona for pet. What is I been pet? That's how they call Mumunufie. As for Mumunufie was the first well-known Denchira who came to the stool from 1588 to 1624. From 1588 to 1624. You understand? Eti ade me ya Denchira ni ana me ya agono ni ana me ya bankama royal pe no wani ko Denchira sana obenya bi so doma o me ya tonase ni me ya kanase ni anytime you meet any person whether say Ghana how abrochiro hio no be say so ya hini o me ya tonase ni oya hen ola me yakana sini onya kansa ase no pe na just a full blooded royal of the Doma akwamu stool la otim di akonya ne bi otim di hima otim di hene. It is meant for only royals. Tachima so was also a 3 gates a Kismasu now Urano, and I've forgotten about the 3rd one. It is meant for the Kismasu, Aurano, and the 3rd one. So the person is a royal of Tachiman. So not just a mere Tachiman this year. I'm not talking about Sabia or Diego, besides say, oh yeah, this year na Bushian saying, well, I'm a Kismasu ni, and I'm a Aurano ni, no Sampa. Then there's another one I've forgotten about. He's a full-blooded royal. Now, Wenchi no, Ubisazola me a this year. We are this show for Bushani here. Also, Titimiti not just Oboa. Because any full-blooded royal of Wenchi since 1600 Ebanimiano, others say a young quadrano ye free. So far, see ye free, and I him fear ye free. If you are not from Quadrano, you're free. So far, see you free. And in fear, you're free. What do you mean, Yakonano, Wenchi? Whether Queen Mother or him. So by the baby who go for Naso be dear Konana, now only so far see you free me, and I him fear you free me, and then Quadrano, you free me. Asamaba, you think that you are so rich? Who was Sikao be bia? So. There's a question mark.
Yeah.
So no matter chitancy, no matter the number of years, ubedia kwenyano. Kisa domasi dia na no 2 for kai himana dia kwenyana che. At least to the best of my knowledge, you say 15 or 20 years. But in law, because from that null and void, because you are not a royal, you cannot be a royal. And by the decision in the Kuyamia, and no for a appear case, to forget and show that about that decision, once you are not a royal, even though so we are gazetted, it doesn't make you a royal, and therefore you are ineligible in law. It is a now established, him and so kunyana baby. Sana mampondiana
okay.
So what one is you? We need to be very, very careful, chieftains. In fact, when we are dealing with the Akropong funds say one more Konyanomian, say get me a miansa, Bakoye, Sachibia, the Jama, and the three. So if you want to occupy the Oforikuman's two, you must belong to one of these two. Now, but the Anokrad and Yamani are very interesting. Say, in any of these gays in Inano, you are Brewetia. And therefore, so through Sachibia family, no tenor. It is the Brewetia of the Sechua family, no. Or not in consultation with the elders who select. Now say here or Seletia, not the Akoma Kremada. And to Baba Nama Beka say, there's a general proposition, say.
All right.
Hima bia neso yihene. Hine bia neso yihimano. That is not the position of the law.
Okay. The National Cathedral, the National Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, National Thanksgiving Day, Mikasa Hon baby na Madam for Ahmed so Abeyimano. But I'm say, ono oh yeah, no cran, ono ka say when information of first hand. But the position of the National Thanksgiving Day was very simple. Maybe my good friend Ahmed will listen this morning. Many Americans say, but the day she was a National Thanksgiving. Yeah, the Nyamiase. Yeah, the Nyamiase. Sametina say, yeah, the Nyamiase. Now, what Obayana Nopa? I could see we are. I'm a Christopher. No, I we are so kakra urban among Cremofo. That is where I raised the point. And I'm saying, Madam Farmer went to me. My point was that, look, so what the word the Yankopon was here. And Yankramofon Kwania Christopher Kwan. And this is who restricted it to say, program why and Cremofo and a Christopher Kwan. Me Obiri Boahen no one yagene. Even though I'm a Catholic. But I need to be fair and honest. Why? I didn't be a Christopher Nagrim say, Senya Christo Kwan, Christo Sombia, Sombia. I want Crabophobic argument say, Senya Cramosom Quandia, Sombia. But I beg to differ. Religion a fit to the root. And therefore, so obey National Thanksgiving Day. No one opportunity for Rastafarians. For me, Obiri Boahen, what?
Opportunity for why?
Rastafarians. Two, and your Rastafarians. Oh, yeah, National Thanksgiving Day no Accra. And when you consider the history of the Gansa, whether you are dealing with the Nungwa, the Teshi, the Osu, the La, and the Tema people, Wolomo plays a very, very important role. Under no circumstances can you talk in history of the settlement of the Nungwa, Teshi, Osu, La, and then Toma is the Tema people. Without giving recognition to Wolomo. Then you don't know, you are not a historian. You are not a good historian. And therefore, obey National Thanksgiving Day. Men restrict to a Christopher and Crabufon. Traditional, I mean, you should the proper word, traditional African religion. Do you understand? Then it means you have given, so what by a National Thanksgiving Day one kind? So we are Osua. So without the Wulomo coming to pour libation, it doesn't make sense.
We are like a software preaching.
You can so
there can be segregations. Say we are from 7 to
7 a.m.
Wulomo Meguninsa.
Wulomo
9 to 12.
Traditional worshippers. Nogopo, Kokufri, Apape, Kwaku Brunsam, Munina 7 to 9. You know, I think that we should do as a may be man konanim. Sometimes I am a ho. The mamoto. I catch you for also mom's on my Christopher mine. Oh, please, they should stop that. 101. So say they should stop that. The man call. Oh, can be that. Oh, I can be second Christopher mine. I can be that. Because I respect a man for religion. Ultimate country, so can be for Kuapin for who say, I then a Kuapin for settlement, no, a dimu Cassia. The Kuapin should not give recognition to Akonedi. You can't tell me that. Now, Kashamin into Ultimate Mamma can't tell me, say, Ebia and Kranza for Zedia Becca, Chinamine. And how can you tell people of Tachimani or may want to say a Boatroa or a Shotan or Nyashi? A Boatroa. Boatroa. Tachimano. I am Boatroa. Tachiman Boatroa. It was established, it was found out around 1230. Yeah, Boatroa. 1230. One of the powerful shrines. 1230. So Makara so when I can't be no minor, ya just you are doing it. Exactly. And so if you are doing a Thanksgiving, it should involve all. President Mahama, Opa would you call more Christophodian, the Concremofodian, but make room for other religions. I mean, honestly, I am very hurt. Yes. It means that we don't give no we have bias. Na Christian Indians and we must have confirmed. Me a Christian, me a knowledgeable person. So I respect the other. Exactly. Baha'i is there. Buddhism is there. Confucianism is there. Shintoism is there. Traditional African religion. No, please. That is wrong. No, in water region, especially when you go to the Evers, when the Evers are praying, or the cry, not the show, not the no page. It is the recognition of the fact that the Evers believe they moved from Egypt to Sudan, no Asian Ghana, no Baham. So anytime they accept, they say the Ra, Asian sun god Ra. Until Evers in the Empire, the first thing. Then he lifted that up. Exactly. Egypt, Sudan, migration here. Egypt, Sudan. Even it was Iraq. Egypt, yeah, Iraq, Egypt, the Evers. The Evers. Ghana no. Ghana no. The migration route near Iraq, Egypt, Sudan to Asian Ghana, back to Nigeria, and some even they came to Togo. I go Colina na Genepa. So once again, remember chieftaincy. You may be a royal, but if you are descendant of Agokolia, ever see them for Koyanuma Uni. So you should respect that. You think say obedience or no go po, obedience or chinaman, obedience or papa ho, obedience or bani ho, obedience or bedru ho. It's somebody's religious belief. Nijidie. Obishobe Rastafarian. What else? There's nothing wrong. And don't associate the man say, oh, a Rastafarian, and now oh, Bano Rastafarian. That is wrong. Because Rastafarian bakunum and just Rastafarian singing ano benum wi. Even you were another religion, Master Dashan. Master that eti uda wonti timunu nyina no ma sa Rastafarians, Master Dashan, Master Ajab, Confucianism, Buddhism, Baha'i ma bebe so 1 hour musumu mafawi. Then you name it traditional African religion musumu mafa say eti so the tapabani bebe ho odide ma be 1 hour. Okay, may I say 39 after 7. So that is the point I was making about then the cathedral itself. The point I was because the President Mahama once again me no nyadwen. Also about converting to National Cultural Convention Center. A huge disappointment for me. Why? Nana Akufo-Addo started so your cathedral. And your cathedral per se no na me oposu. But my opposition was that, in fact, taxpayers' money. And I know if you my doma DC no, Obiri Boahen dear, so nyame on Gazare. No, but the point I was making say, you don't use taxpayers' money. So
it wasn't the edifice cathedral and now we're against.
No.
But the funding.
The funding.
Okay.
I've never been against. Now Roman email against cathedral.
Oh, that's so cool.
But that's so cool.
When was the last time I called?
Oh, last time I called in chair, but
how many years?
Oh, 2025 years.
Before so 2025, now call a debate.
7 years.
It's Roman for that's what who say, who's your master.
And I know my corner, Domasi.
To walk back, who is a video between the best 7 years and was I could be.
Because the best year 2 gums on my corner. Cathedral.
Over 2 goose.
And I what the house I did out of Fidia, Roman. So, Cathedral, they have been feared doing. It is a generation of a cathedral. So that is that. Don't use taxpayers' money. The problem we have in Africa is
because already Otiedi Okaina, a digger can almost sano.
Nomenclature.
A digger.
Nomenclature. A dinikeke.
Because I realized that after is it a chieftains and religious minister no Ebeka say umu politicize national cathedral too much and they regret it.
Min kasabi kura. Min kasabi. No, because you see it's a nomenclature.
I won't come when gonna leave you.
Oh, me gonna ni be members am chance. A man for no air politicizes na ni basis. But me mediane dey na me basis ni say memfa taxpayers' money. Because you know we are told, and in France, even if you go to Israel now, most of the baby na ya withdraw oha, na yesu boasu oha no. Private companies are running those institutions. Private companies. Some of them are Canadian companies, some of them Irish companies. So please, the last thing I say, yes, you say, memfa taxpayers' money, and but you know, typical African politicians, omo pesika di, omo pesika wia, omo pesika bokro no, oko kan ho no ba na me kontokwa da bia no. Because anya who pay wia, and then now the taxpayers' money. Allow a private company to run that venture. So you cannot cram my home National Theatre, John Rollins CC way. A very good project, but in a white elephant project.
Yeah.
But you can leaders in Nigeria didn't come with my private company. Not private company on one running every Saturday. Years back, now then Saturday be as Afrikico. But no, my year be been crack years back in the cultural center. But you know, Abano
you need 24.
I catch you for them paying for baby continue. Maintenance and cost. Because how do you have the regular park Kumaseha? For my private.
You say the money amount private or managing.
Private, you never because I like private.
Doesn't best selected.
No, but you know, we should be very candid and then be very transparent.
Now, when you must come back, there was a beautiful fountain. For years, a year or two, not a year, and somebody be my private owner. Private man ne buy na WONTUMI operate near say remote the operative fountain aya. Tibesine remote the enya bio the fountain enya adwuma bio.
So I must say mitra min kasabe. Some African intellectuals and politicians beg the shamo. Min ni yadwa. Min kasa NDC for min kasa
and all this there was a forensic audit. Yeah, the report ne buy no. Ya ba power 8 years. O says be sampan yo mum kwetena kemi obi anka ho asem. So and some of the assembly members were even telling us say we mo dey forensic report but Ru says be abresu no. We mo pe copy no, o mo koye na etutu pages ni bi afri.
No, Africa you be catch because no we have few honest people. Kakana biti same. Africa kura dey suddenly win kan. Minyini so benya biti same. So say Lewin can say the whole Ghana. But we are sure, say, I will take the whole Africa. No, I know. One more project to be one kind. One from the Independence Square. No. One say Kwame Nkrumah Mazalini no one. One so complex court complex or no man. We say but in chance a project like this. Na Ghana bany na eye. Abba. But from people and DC. Some of the politicians, you have disappointed Ghanaians because of Marco Barcelona. Da. So, Barcelona, beach, no pass, and yes, it now, can I what is my private company? And the MPP started a 4 pencil. One yet, Professor Mosa by John Mahama by Nana Kufuadua by still not the project in here.
Dr. Bamia suggested some of these things in the manifesto, no? Say road Kumasi Accra Highway, Kwayanke, their private person. Not why, yeah, a bus see schools are whatever privatizing, then they lease it back to government. Yeah, you got to talk us, no? I buy convoy tin network so 2 years now, ocean area, you know, or my private agency. Now I buy rent it. Dr. Bamia,
so no a visionary.
But
oh, Ghana for but no,
I know
system no. System with due respect. I am so corrupt to say. So banana system no nipa no who say ube chia bibia.
And quite of us we did no be seen on
but because how says Ghana ban this kakoye for the market. Doesn't make sense. O pasika fo pa wo Ghana ha nyina bebre wo Kumasi ha. Me amada for Kwame Despat no for this upon. Danya o masisi di yestos. Madam for Kesben. Adanya o masisi di yestos. So why don't you enter in agreement more for this upon Kesben and I say WONTUMI num obia businessman.
Aboaje contractor Emmanuel Aboaje.
Sir, I have another friend SD near friend Osuansa. So him na.
Oh, the company card is it gold print or
Madam for no.
Say ono na omo ede ratupa kama na o managing.
Osuansa.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
I want to run about go for station. Western Pharmacy.
Osuansa.
That mini supermarket no minor. I bantama ultra
very good
Silvercrest winner.
Madam for no.
Yeah, it's an advantage. No trade book.
Or printed books is very quiet open. Also answer kasa. Mugaze. So be me bossy wa brabom shenu. Also answer sa.
That company the gold printers.
You cannot tell me sir. Or for the crop market no. What the more also answer.
And a very generous man.
Also answer is very generous.
Very, very generous man.
What is happening in this country? What because you call Jofort also was to Adana Apem Kwaunino, Apem 1,000 in Accra. 1,000 wa Apem store Adana Kono Sana Apem also Jofort. So Japan dying pan a pamper so see a malata marketo, a he marketo, a he marketa, a Jofort WONTUMI. But the system is so corrupt. The system is so tainted. Because I saw the command also answer, and I come despite, and I WONTUMI, and answer Casmia, Penino, dear Nimon Chobo. Ah, dear Koya, and answer your buy. And yet this is a substitutional. Yet, man for the ghost names, as she says, baby baby. What are we directing? Obatranka, Obiri, I know because I don't money pussy. The higher better. I mean, is there any sense, any logic?
From the national Thanksgiving and the national cathedral, I say I saw the seminar, you know, way Ghana's abstention.
Oh, once again,
UN Human Rights Council.
NDC Subambi pa. Then I ask myself, say, Inti, Menson Diana. Sir,
why did you expect something different? A change NDC led by John Mahama?
At least. this money we nyina dia ba to aba no se NDC aba bansema beka ene niema bi because me betina hatia mu as LGBTQ no de benti wontimi nyane no tom wontimi nyane chena o tom eni se eba so na ye sister no kura chiri ba ma mfa ba ma ba mfa ba e chiri matena kama obo hu dawura, and I was in full support of Sam George no. And I don't hear people like Sam George.
Na no kwa so busa so for say are no wagya ho asem ka.
Roma so for no. Adechem kwa me bisa no. I am extremely worried. Say antipa Sam George no kuja to black one about what? In fact, intellectual dishonesty pa we are so person who come to Abibirem. Come to Abibirem. No wonder. Sakwasi broni ba na opem kwaton onya no fofofo in Africa. Because even in 2024, 2025, now you catch phone in the phone kasa shaha. Sani be person shaha dia. So imagine ya nananoma sabi ka frecho when is good number dey snap abreno. No snap that and say be ma hwehwe. And then they see as a party akoni to about LGBTQ. We say abstained. And Okujato wanted to explain. Okujato was explaining Enkosi. Please, you people are disappointing.
You don't subscribe to the explanation he gave.
Nkawanka krankaye. Nkawanka krankaye. The Okujatos and the Sam Georges and some of these issues and President Mahama, they have been a huge disappointment to Ghanaians and to the level-minded Africans. Ultimate staying. Samento. And these other people, Nakufado sign, Nakufado sign, Nakufado Pegasam, Nakufado. Okay, say we bill we once and be there to throw let it be said.
Yeah.
And the can be crack and a man people lose here. Because they use it and campaigned against the MPP. And now by St. George was all over the place. And now it is Okasa. Because I know quite land cruisers will be doing. I'm extremely worried. In fact, the coming of African politicians about we because we are by and the enemy say, Bia, I'm sorry, I say, Edaya, Unquania da, Tano Sabinum. But all of a sudden, just a near President Mahama, Etimako Jinaho, Ako can say, Obedanino from cathedral to this. Just a nomenclature. Because even Baba cathedral no crown. On the same na cathedral antino. Send omusi designer or money money obebrin. We know one had the same thing on be. Yeah. But is it fair? President Mahama bet my shots from. And I say he's quiet moment I say and can we no clock and crowd the museum nan ko to us say. However, enye abane na be private. Nka na je say Obiri Boahen. Make a chair President Mahama say chia me because nya me pe na why. You know. Where are we drifting? So what now what you say? Galamsey is still going on. I sat here and say Galamsey asem na mo ka no. Monya so mo na mo de bo mema ne maya ne bebriu. Because nya ba be ye mine ni nyina ne be ye Galamsey. Because you been more licenses. Na so ko kan wo newspaper num say 2025 ba ma binum licenses se be to forest reserves 2025.
And I saw say it's supposed for akwache miaminia Kodio Prepara Small Scale Miners Association mo chairman our known NDC say on a Chinese be more forest him. And then there was a promise of repealing the airline that mandates mining in our forest reserves. Yeah, by I say be amended. Amendment no kwani you know the akwakosi.
No make mama tena kan be say MPP free. Sa law no ye law fun. Because yen show no nyina fi kwaye no. enti sha law now ye na nipa bi kwane ma ne kokwaye num nipa no kokwaye num ono nya mfom so what you say because minerals commission amano
kwan se onwuram
and is backed by law LI 2462 enti MPP for pension me ka say ade yefun ma baba ye mine no bebre kura no be ma be nhwem bio maram de ne mgina ne mgina na me sang so ka say me de mine no me nhwe na MPP NDC mine no eye because what asase nyina say odua buru enye yie odua koko a enye yie yetu agudie so wofam enti senya forest na off reserve na yetu ne kro ho mema ne maye nya adwuma me se ne ko wasa kropon ko madam fu bia wa ya invite me abroso invite me be me je me ko legal vacation fa dia so fa yam free kwa kwasi wasa kropon kosi nipa wo mo ye engage in mining no pepe. So do we have to say yanchi chibenyina sa but just make sure say wo mo benya krata so MPP time I say me there attract banning of mining no mentiasie because emanipa bebre adwuma ye baba beka setiam and this focus na mining na kufado ni binuma kwasa nsuo wo baabi ne be de akere. I'm saying that mining is still going on and that I'm authoritatively informed say 2025 a binum based on the existence of LI 2462 no a binumo LI 2462 a binumo anya permit to go into the forest na yakoya na na buy na campaign na no mo ye crucify kufado crucify MPP for no na wo hefa have we been fair to ourselves? So that is the dilemma. Me yana munio. Sa no kuraka dia bibrem hade. Yetime tenase obati yes institution we ghost names. Na me dem say gumbu say e awurade nyankopɔ no. Ghost names say mbere bia be 10,000. Say na MPP for na man ne maya binim titifia be pa adwuma ye. Out of frustration ti be jai MPP nanti mo amudi ye didi ni she mo ye go names no na mo de sa positions no opportunities ma MPP for man mema nka ye body and somebody wants to be rich overnight et go names ni ya kwa sorry a kokuni akuya oh panyere we ya ba de na kofi fo ye be di first na so fire no preach ya and why adentina ya boa bone and the thing that bone no nko ani say nya wanum wi bone nko ani say nya wakọ ya baby ayie onim ya baby minim no but me hwe social media baya no wu na ya baby ayie hey hwe ma ya pa address mpa na da sora mete baba jere say bonin kwan so be ko ya baby ayi but nenya ho na e bonin no enya ho na e bonin no enya ni onum wi no enya ni onum apetese no enya ni onum jot no but binim ye bibi edi wiase ewu edi di pewu ghost names but employment obi nya adwumanye Bo from MPP NDC I am untie me preaching no me mo aduru cha na masafo no preaching no masafo no dia collection ne tight nti sabe anya asofo nyina so ba na se obisa na nia me ka na wo mu no any abstention na na stay President Mahama has this point no wonder and out here voter region yasin nadmo akwabia ko bubu
yeah wa loko
no you cannot say it's a hallmark of indiscipline for me. I will not say so
1D1F
maybe last one crack your loko ni wanya de but so what transit wo awura na wo mde this didn't go free zone board okoka say mo ka say mu ye twobo ya na mo nkwa
Mary Awusi
ai na awura ya da aka say mo da so onti sabi me ka say zambi before nyanyan ambi before the bia mo men nyame ase sa pipi nya kra mpa enka sa ka sa sin awura kan yi kan pipi pa penso tie can begin say by the close of the day enka ba yi no free ho but awura na tima yi na sia dia sa
nya no kra no o ka kire omu
no kra dia na sa nya no kra bia so we yampoadie anya no kra ka yampoadie asa ba te say ayi bofokrom ndc bibi wo sunyando masebe man school feeding no about social media obebodua
Friday shaka so benya Mary Awusi we na mamia I think some appreciate my say na tamo mo appoint that Rosemond no
I
almost so buy enche no
no so Dr. Baumia office no but in politics you can have all these things because you are dealing with human beings what you are about ebetimi abase bi kura ebe dey come on say Urano or Baumia office. Now send this appointing. What is wrong about that? What is wrong about that? Because someone named Moa or Boa woman. What you say? Any businessman, 9 people for quite or more 2,000, and this is one money 2,000. What you say? Auntie, well, it happened. As I know, MPP superpower. And this former pampa bin that home, it hasn't changed anything. Because the system no never been tea. I never been tea. WONTUMI and Yabia overnight. And to me possible. But say I rush one over me blame and people for and I blame Dr. Baumia say. No, because Ebiana or Honing in Akrano. Now she was spying for the NDC.
There's all a school graduate but da. That about me also is also na abu na mana ko school we na wa be you
so say anya ina ndisi fanwa there's nothing wrong he's a human being but you know on kasa sen say o munya we na mo ka say chobo no amoye
tinye chobo nko
anya chobo nko we are Broni Beka, we are offending the sensibilities and the sentimentalities of the NDC activists. What the best at them? But me cry me a mano. What I say. But the embassy, no. Scratch no go to more, not mono. Why not, dear? But you know, that is the way they go on with this in Africa.
So what's any and what way who adwuma no question who adwuma and as die wo ho no emai
o she the promotion boss say ya buy the not move am hwe ayi
or say other district no consensus organizers ni na take over as NADMO directors nti on tears on no kwa no consensus and as the district no ono de mo mpeso me de be ma no
o kan sa aba wo nyansa wo so mo na we se mo yi announce e bia o ebia yenimo ne certificate ne qualification ebia yenimo bi kura no be pese bede ne ko ba bi foforo but that is politics
manipa ye nyina ye chobo e bebi no chobo ne bi die risky bi manipa sa kola we say enyoma wo ye me se me na me start ye nyina ye chobo e bebi no chobo ne bi die risky bi manipa sa kola we say enyoma wo ye me se me na me start ye nyina ye chobo e bebi no chobo ne bi die risky bi manipa
MPP nya problem bi won kentampo to about in 2016 we about 2017 there was a Konkoma boy who contested on the ticket of MPP Chasakamba. And for the first time since 1992, no, Charles Renetimi close to gap no pa. Charles ne close to gap no pa. I'm so close to bedroom best 2,000 or 3,000. When you might have some, the MPP party didn't appoint him as the DC. Or more appointing in Pafufrobi. So nipa na appointed no MC no. Ono na as MC no onso timi nya resources. Enti by 2020 no wo mo call primaries no. Our resources the delegate system na uti before abemfa no. Otwa chas. Ko 2020 and 2024. 2020 NDC buy mu. Obuy mu pa. 2024 crowd the call right now the ben no you very good. Amount for penasem. So na current ma close gap no et say
the guy.
That chas. So I mean sabi ka frecho sabi. E common sense say since 1992 Chasakamba na abadia. Next MPP member 2017. I don't know when Chasakamba the MC. And look at the geopolitics in Kintampo. Who Wangara for, who Mo, who Nkranza, who Dagati, who Fulani. You know, NDC constituency chairman from Kintampo, Dagatini. Dagatini. And most of the constituency executives in Nano, and Nkranza for. And they are more position to get anti baby design Kintampo North and Kintampo South. For the MPP, so be just city no free and this in term. But we get back on Nessanko and MPP was palm. Obebre. These are the dynamics on the ground. And your baby beyond MPP. Mode honey. Where dynamics in Libya? What Raman can so her? Now walk Kowachi, Kodru Poku Krom Dujamanoma. Among for be brother from non accounts be brother from. It was a who call delegation. Or better the paper go to delegation or better TV or better fridge or better to better pabuamabo. But the general elections, sir, you will suffer.
Well, young Kwai, na yankusha 1D, 1F.
Once again, a disappointment in the NDC.
And then obey disappointment. Disappointment, never Uramusa. Any issue you are disappointed.
Yeah, because you see, me no me no asabi.
Yes, I say my disappointment.
You too Canada no. Utim said the private sector no. Ena a
movie.
Whether Canada, whether America, whether USA, whether Germany, whether it is the private sector. And Ghana suffer pa when Dr. Nkrumah started with his policies now state policy, state housing, state agric, food distribution company, state way. Because state way ninam mpemfo na ba na be di disikano ba be. So if you look at the 1966 the Apollo Commission's report very well, Utimu say any advisable says state no about interfere with Nyaman Bebre except baby create say the electricity, water and then but no krampon. So from 1966 report na bam say my neighbor from here na kadema private participation. And kadia de na it because I never baller kura yes sakura no ya dey ma private companies. Tia fidani bebre ya dey ma private companies. So you cannot tell me say electricity, say water private entity. Now MPP for the bear na ya brilliant here. Mama ma typical example. Baby I mean who kura me whom you didn't o sunyane. And now because you didn't benefit 1D 1F no. And now you didn't yagale no was silly. No they call Nigeria.
Packaging come.
Packaging identity articulated there 10.
Wow.
Me do make a bibiana. Uko sunyanya. Akachi for na bebre no ka identa. But bebre no ka chance o CMTC.
Okay.
CMTC channel better factory bi wo ho. Abaka say better factory bi wo ho. Onim say the iden. But those of us who can read and write, who share how successful are within ident across because of 1D 1F. Central region, ayibia na wo mo ye nom no. Drinking no.
Yeah, juice no.
Juice.
A confused juice.
And now you live in Ghana. Cocoa processing companies heavily indebted. extremely indebted. I've once been a board chairman. Me wa nyina kra no me clamosa na montom company. Cocoa processing company, as you are talking now, is heavily indebted. If you are serious as a country, negotiate. Let private company no producing the cocoa, chocolate, you know. But you have a country, cocoa board to cocoa, no, I got the cocoa board of the car. Then I catch you for the most would do for the I catch you for cocoa, so I better cotton. But you call Kajatia, my maybe I told you for more than 20 years.
Or more. Or the Hannibal University.
Or the Hannibal University. What I say? Oko Dumasi Joma. Mamma told Punam. Oko Sunyania. Mamma told Kobe Sawakofan Yegisa since the 1980s. Wafa Kobe Nisa Atonabatonaton Sifia Hannibal University or Moka. Koko abaton MPP tama waboka NDC tama waboka Binya kukodron kanchebe say yetimi we cannot accommodate and tolerate sabi this nonsense. You know, so Cocoa Board okay say by now no it should be in the private hands. PBC koya PBC in the crime shagu PBC koya MShagu. Yeah, they are two stock exchange. PBC, yeah, creative, yeah. PBC, I don't know if I be bringing in a cooperative for Adani. So, if you are talking about a 24-hour economy, the first thing I say about him say, as a private sector, no, yes, man, Kosoro. Now, about my private sector, na Kosoro, no, I one district, one factory. I one district, one factory. Now, what you mean? You say yechem aba, but 4 billion na Guzitano say open for one they say 24 economy no. With due respect, does it make sense?
I don't make sense.
Now you are looking for 4 billion to run the secretariat, the staff, and other initiatives of the same. A 24-hour economy doesn't make sense. Operation make sense. You don't know factory now, no. Juma 24 hours because demand now they call Nigeria no. Demand now they call Togo ni Benin no. Be here nti infidiani is so ni binu maponko. So when you are talking about 24-hour economy, sometimes the technicians are crashing for evening from say, now when betting who man who betting who. How do you talk of 24-hour economy? When I say Madame for our Belgium watching about or Marco Bon to Mpasetia filling station be all. How do you run 24-hour economy in such a situation? WONTUMI. But I wish I saw some year came war. I'm not going to run about it. Ubetima run it because it will chrome. You can run it. And to what do you do, Macron? Who look at 24-hour economy now? Who said, what in your own now, Obama 24-hour economy operational? But system on Obama 24-hour economy, no, operational. It is the system. And to much blueprint, I catch Ghana catch from rubber for baby, she can dear, she can rear, chrono bob, a poor bob. Now, Ethiopian ideas, Ethiopian 24-hour economy, the t-shirt and about printing. Oh, and send this son to the Marines because the system, yeah, and you want to because 24-hour would free the same. Wenchi na be so ko new longula udru Wenchi station eye wa kwan eye hamle kwan Wenchi station ha anajo don kokoro be duro ni bi be ton pan no eye 24-hour economy because demand no enaye ukota chiman town nipa no bebre na ewo station ho yeah because tachiman no so free wow so free tamale obesi wa bi no mafa ka ekosunyane nya wona abeka say yen 24-hour economy system na 24-hour economy They cannot operate 24-hour economy when yawoda drum ho. You cannot operate 24-hour economy with Sunyani, Ukwera drum ho. Because it's common sense. Ukwera drum ho, aba non son on what you Baba eko basic Baji Wafa. Nagrana akrachi for sika we are chronobo 24-hour economy. So what my chamunu, the engine of growth no private sector no abawie. So we are dying a man to me economy. Electricity company the car, Cocoa Board at the car, PBC at the car. Man, but that how to run a country? I'm both from PP and NDC now, Opinia Kukodrono, Opinia Huadeno, to be bold enough to be talking like how Obiri I'm talking. To be talking like how I make us say. Why don't we 24-hour economy? Biara. Baby, on my job, I'll cast away on 24-hour economy. I'll bet him because care. A crowd cost a VIP station on 24-hour economy. Obey me. Oh, 24-hour economy. Obey me. Boy, Achima Bajuhi 2M Express. 24-hour economy. Obey me. They cannot run 24-hour economy in Domain Crew. You cannot run 24-hour economy in Sampa. Are they? Because of Ebonon Shannon Sono. No crime way. You cannot. Obiakoda. God, so you cannot. If you come to my son to me, got 24-hour economy now, I will run into my son. No, I cannot Biakoda. What you think who crap a warrior could Uslos am Robert. So it's the situation, the environment, and the system. Now, the Obanas are a man from my young Kasa and Chiremu and stakeholders and Pagani. Now, Gujitana Kojina Bakasa, I must say, eventually, more 24-hour economy. Meanwhile, electricity of company the car, na Banama subvention. Ghana water company the car, a Banama subvention. PBC the car, Cocoa Bar the car. Adan. Na mine no shani ye mine. Sika no so monya bia mo say abane a market, abane away. Or the Bama private person because abane paying 4% kwekwe ho, we kwekwe ho. But how is that how to run a country? In Africa, because of bad leaders, bad leadership. Away for Africa. Our leaders are not God-fearing. And you want them consider bekono. And you should be proactive and reasonable.
Because out on you.
You should be proactive and reasonable. I'm not saying we are seeing corner nimpa. We are saying and at the circle so brutal we are saying baby. And then there's competition. Then electricity subvention. Way subvention. Big power authority a generate a Jumanian sika. May you have 3 cases for I from compensation. We won't be a capre. What the cocoa na case bebre no bui power authority woman or mu ways means. They have their own ways and means. Koba na ho hini bia no wanya capre. Aba because the bia before ye jimia ye wa kurase ye jimia. Mrata kuro nipa na ni betio. I am not preaching violence. But I'm being truthful. Enti ya niama bebre so one day one F no o ma twam no die ene professor Kokwa as an article that correct ya unso be yo se da yie ene Ghana da yie
20 minutes after 8 I WONTUMI 1013 WONTUMI radio suni and I WONTUMI TV lawyer Nana Obiri Boahen I'm not trust this is the state of Ghana every Saturday morning 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. yes sorry na WONTUMI nationwide sports no aba yedin komo e dia afa Ghana's abstention wo UN
one gave for bian be fiba no
go fi no independence square ho no
so let's be very honest to ourselves what would tell me say ya people for pencil na kufu do war power na gave for me enu kofi wo mano a nka Ghana dey na siba now
Okay, today no home just gone by 1D 1F cancellation trade minister they got to Mashaba him and yabo home komo national Thanksgiving and the National Cathedral and so yabo home and komo next on the discussion table no yanko engineers and planners and Azuma resources on the black voter gold bed worth 52 trillion Ghana cedis 1.4 million ounces gold deposit home komo and April 24th April 14th and ora ato force in board of governors Emma ECOWAS Bank and wa granted $100 million facility Ediama ENP say omufa enkoye this black voter gold belt project no Azuma resources for say omoja pade no omunane ma ENP for no enti they were shocked say who that celebration memorandum of understanding yes sign contractual one when cameras is so na Minister of Lands and Natural Resources declared about almost 7 days. It should resolve their disagreement or he steps in. Lawyer Nana Obiri.
Boahen. Ibrahim is a friend. But let me very on as a friend, Minkona Jumamuda, also Mama Jumamuda. Minkoni Fieda.
Nana Mayongo for Mofana say.
Oh, Saminisha, ono ye obi a tafa plimpa in the airport.
Okay.
Airport na metane ni hia. Minkon fie, minkon office, minkon ono so ma mi fie. But one Ibrahim Mahama hia na one no kasa. The demeanor and the body language, I feel comfortable. You what you say? Whether it's MPP in power NDC, menano kasa to say yonko adamfo, and we discuss issues, you know. Until adamfo fano airport on once a while when we meet at the airport. The government in Takando adamfo menkon office that menkon fie that was in fie so airport in here. So baby, people should not look at it say, oh, you are defending Ibrahim Mahama. But you know, I want to be fair in this. Then we need to be fair. Engineers and planners is a legal entity. Ibrahim Mahama is a legal entity. But Niyama abani nyina ne kasa abani nyina no President Mahama ne ndisi for na masansi ngwe nyina abba. Ni abani nyina President Mahama. But no, the advice I'm giving to President Mahama and other politicians in Africa say, more kasa, no more can be bia. You don't play to the gallery. You don't play to the gallery. Benkuma benkum, nifa, enya. Anonymous, and Kawai, what is the, with due respect, what is the big deal about this? Why? Sabjona, as a Ghanaian, has a mining firm in South Africa. You know, I know of MPP Nipanibia, or mining company in Guinea. You know, a bishop or your Juma or Mali. So your own mining firms, left, right, and center. And I say, even a Ghanaian own grandpa. Yeah. Now, in some NDC for no kind, no NDC for the bebre rabble rashes. And so when the opportunity comes, people will pay you in the same coin. In the Japadia, ne beton Ghana, ne betona machum for pesika, na by a champion person auto who state hotels in me. And there we go again. Yeah, whoa. I can't fuck you for Yamin Chiabeka. But on the name of my home. One can say a chimney president Nikoni Ecopato. I can't phone Yamin Chiabeka back to Tony Yaman bin Kumnifa. Nanamwa koye campaign yatuaba, and people use all these things, including Okujata Blakwa. And people stood firm. Mimi say, look, now our company no, our position to peer. Brian Champon bought Catherine Rest House for $4 million US. No, yeah, $3 million. What yaka? At the hotel bank, and now Casa Wo Tonga. Now Brian Champo Casa Tonto. But you know, a state hotels, a tongue, I could find the president. Brian Champo Yakani, Kwani. Oh, California come from the year, but year already. And the same scenario, if you look at the engineers and planners response no one more the delegate second page, you know. Okay, I think so. That's engineers and planners in Yabone.
Intinam from Sobena Hanso Mining 2013 no year.
What was my means I say?
WONTUMI handsome man in 2013 because basically maintain any justification by the former NDC administration. Emma ene Ibrahim Mahama etimi didi WONTUMI ho few despite launching the automobile museum no Kujina said this is real money we need excavators to that extent.
Yeah. So the President Mahama and NDC for no problems now. What
was the justification?
There's no justification.
And today power changes. What's the quantum mining? So Nippon was revoking the license. No, what's the illegal mining?
And you know, if the man is in the forest,
and you come and tell me, say engineers and brothers, so I will not buy this.
If the man is in the forest, take note that there's LI 2462.
A permitted mining in forest.
In forest.
And there is evidence, man, I know for a fact, when they went to a contaminated site, the drone a quarry, and to mutual video, it captured about 18,000 coconut trees WONTUMI Biawa site. So because it captured no WONTUMI show.
So you see the kind of problem we are
facing. So and no reclaim land no edian kube ne ema kaetie din koma.
You see the problem we are facing in this country, and you know they knock us ethnocentric politics. Ethnocentric
na we are Mohammed duru nua so abeka che say Ghana need me oni
and na asankra ka say oh so when you kura dia say on the own peace can find hwe and say when you na own peace can hwe unua no wo fase no. So the problem my friend Ibrahim is going through NDC for any new John Mahama now we might criticize problems in and I was expecting President Mahama because oh I am sorry for me Sembi Amekaye, I am sorry for me Nima Biamiye. Just expecting him to say I am sorry. Look at the response and you see so engineers and planners here a mining company or more now even I'm told say there's a halt. So it means that it looks like so if Ibrahim's company engineers and planners own asase kesiye sikakoko kesiya you say Ibrahim no kra no waye boni. But problem now banning President Mahama and his NDC.
So if the Minister of Lands and Natural acknowledge there is a feud between engineers and plumbers ne Azuma, I also must settle and sana the take over na yejuma. What so granted is 100 million.
They didn't do serious homework because the minister need serious homework na. Nke so ma wo settle we. Ansana mode eyinu nyina eye se moye no fie wa won empesa mekere no ese moye no fie. It means something hanging on now or say mama wo mde minister in what capacity how the dates nabi ama wo problem na ye wo man mu no problem no so and no it's apart from intellectual problem no ethnocentric politics. Ethnocentric politics, because you know that perception, wrong perception. So a bit free ethnic group will be there. say you turn state property amano enye ebi so dey free another ethnic group there on the onya eye. And it is a serious thing for us. And both the MPP and the NDC, our parliamentarians, our who say, ya no me, ya nam baby bia, tro, ye nam no, tro. Say, ebin ma recommend say yan ton state hotels ni bi ma branch ampo. Yan kona man fon kobe de no ne ye high be de yan ton manwa. No kuja to no be ye press conference or press conferences. Now say you could da man ama engineers and planners and I say Azuma ye the engineers planners. Oku jeto black one ne some job mona mama say problem number. Musuma ye India for Akrachi for. So you should have not been involved in this kind of Paleolithic age politics. Yeah. The problem we are facing this country now. I remember in 1993.
Yeah, what fem? Su. A come na bedu amane no. Say in fie na yo say in fie nwotwe. Na bompire say aban sesan e mabru no ebeto. What you are going through, you also do same.
I remember in 1992. Na jam sere bi na bi mu ye. Akunta besi fam. Yeah, GMI. You know, 1992 was just na ne yire. Yeah, also one of the respected characters are Mepe Masempa. Na Ofri Ejureti Antino, Akuntabesi from GMI, and it looks like Akuntabesi for na a man Yamodia MPP for. But that was wrong. Set comments. That was wrong. Because even before Ashanti became protectorate,